Step back into the year 1434, into a silent, sun-drenched room in the heart of Bruges. Here, the very fabric of time was stitched into a wooden panel by the master of the Northern Renaissance, Jan van Eyck. This is not just a painting, it is a hyper-realistic portal. Van Eyck did not merely use oil and pigments, he captured the breath, the light, and the very souls of his subjects. What you are witnessing is a legal contract, a sacred marriage vow, and perhaps a haunting farewell to the departed. These figures have watched the world change for 600 years, yet they remain frozen in their mysterious ritual. Look closer at the shadows. In this masterpiece, every brushstroke hides a secret, and every detail is a whisper from a forgotten age. Are you ready to decode the most famous mystery in art history? Look at the sheer opulence of their world. Every texture you see, from the heavy green velvet of the dress to the thick sable fur of the merchant's cloak, was a calculated display of power and status. In the 15th century, these materials were rarer than gold, defining the rise of the new merchant class. Giovanni Arnolfini, a shrewd Italian businessman in a foreign land, stands before us in a carefully curated setting. Yet beneath this visible wealth, a deeper, more unsettling stillness hangs in the air. Nothing in this frame is accidental. The oranges on the windowsill signify immense riches and fertility, while the signature on the wall transforms the artist into a legal witness. Jan van Eyck was here, it proclaims, inviting us to step into the room and witness a moment that was never meant to be forgotten. In the 1400s, Bruges was the beating heart of European commerce. A northern Venice, shrouded in fog, faith, and immense capital. It was a city where an orange from Spain was a luxury beyond imagination, and a piece of Flemish cloth could buy a kingdom. Giovanni represents the pinnacle of this era, the self-made man who used art to cement his legacy. But what of the woman beside him? Her pale porcelain face remains an unbreakable enigma. For centuries, we believed this was a wedding portrait, a celebration of life and union. But modern historians have begun to peel back the layers of this narrative, suggesting a darker, more tragic origin. Was this a celebration of a new beginning, or a desperate attempt to immortalize a love that had already been claimed by the grave? Meet Costanza Trenta. Her name echoes through the archives of tragedy. If historians are correct, and this masterpiece was completed in 1434, a devastating fact emerges. Costanza had already passed away a year prior. Suddenly, the painting shifts from a wedding to a haunting memorial, a posthumous portrait. Notice the lighting. Costanza emits a supernatural, ethereal glow, her features smoothed into a ghostly perfection, while Giovanni remains anchored in the dark, heavy shadows of the living world. He holds her hand with a weightless, tentative touch, as if he is terrified that she might dissolve into mist before the paint can dry. This is the portrait of a man trying to stop time, using Van Eyck's genius to keep his wife's spirit alive within these four wooden borders. At the exact center of the composition lies the convex mirror, a masterpiece within a masterpiece. This curved glass acts as an all-seeing eye, reflecting the entire room and two mysterious figures entering through the door. Are they the witnesses to a marriage, or are they us, the viewers from the future, stepping into their private sanctum? Encircling the mirror are 10 intricate medallions depicting the Passion of Christ. If you look closely at the symbolism, a chilling pattern emerges. The scenes of Christ's life are positioned on Giovanni's side, the side of the living. On Costanza's side, the medallions show only the scenes of death and resurrection. The mirror is not just a decorative object, it is the boundary between the physical realm and the spiritual afterlife, a silent guardian of their eternal secret. In this room, every object is a coded message. The small Brussels Griffon dog at their feet is not just a pet, it is the universal symbol of fides, loyalty and fidelity, that transcends the grave. The wooden clogs cast carelessly on the floor indicate that this is holy ground, a place where a sacred event is unfolding. Even the chandelier, with its intricate brass arms, hides a profound mystery. Only one single candle is lit, burning brightly, despite the sunlight streaming through the window. In the language of the Northern Renaissance, this represents the eye of God, a divine presence watching over the couple. Or perhaps it is the marriage candle, a tradition where a single flame represents the life of the bride, a flame that, in this painting, is destined to never go out. The 15th century did not see death as a final curtain, but as a thin veil. Jan van Eyck's revolutionary use of oil glazes allowed him to paint with such terrifying realism that the panel seems to breathe. We can almost smell the drying lavender in the linens and the cold wax of the candles. But as the sun sets over the canals of Bruges, the shadows in the room grow longer and more oppressive. The tragedy of the Arnolfini is the tragedy of permanence. Giovanni and Costanza achieved the immortality they craved, but they are forever trapped in this hyper-realistic silence. They are prisoners of their own perfection, caught in a loop of a single solemn second that has lasted for 600 years. This is the weight of history, beautiful, silent, and cold. Time is a slow, relentless predator, even for a masterpiece. As we zoom into the surface of the painting, we see the créclature, the fine spiderweb-like cracks that have formed as the wood and oil expanded and contracted over half a millennium. These are the scars of history itself. This panel survived wars, religious upheavals, and the rise and fall of empires. It has been handled by kings, hidden by collectors, and scrutinized by the greatest minds in art history. Each crack tells a story of survival. We try to restore it, to keep the colors as vibrant as the day Van Eyck laid them down. But the painting resists us. It guards its original secrets beneath layers of yellowed varnish and the weight of ancient lies. We haven't just preserved a painting, we have preserved a ghost. In recent years, modern science has stripped the Arnolfini portrait bare. Using infrared reflectography and X-ray technology, researchers have peered beneath the paint to see the pentimenti, the artist's hidden changes. We can now see Van Eyck's original charcoal sketches. He struggled with the placement of Giovanni's hand. He experimented with the bride's expression. He moved the mirror multiple times. This was not an effortless miracle. It was a violent intellectual struggle for perfection. Yet despite our ability to see every hidden layer and every microscopic brushstroke, the soul of the painting remains out of reach. Science can tell us what pigments were used, but it can never explain the haunting sense of longing that radiates from the panel. Some mysteries are not meant to be solved by machines. As we prepare to leave the room in Bruges and return to our own chaotic world, the door closes slowly on the Arnolfini. Giovanni and Costanza will remain there, hand in hand in their eternal oil-painted present. Jan van Eyck achieved the impossible. He defeated the void of oblivion with nothing but a brush made of a single hair. He proved that art is the only weapon we have against the passing of time. In the end, we are all searching for the same thing as Giovanni. Someone to look at the ruins of our lives one day and say, they were here, they loved, they existed. We are the new witnesses to their ancient vow. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the shadows of the Renaissance. The mirror is watching. Don't forget to look back.